Hi everyone, and welcome to part 2 of the bin demolition here. So in this part we're gonna get the rest of the building down basically and sort of figure out where I'm gonna put all this lumber. So we got Danny and Garrett working hard. I am gonna go up on the inside here and finish cutting these rods out. I can probably take my plank down, and yeah, then I'll maybe work on the inside wall while those guys are working outside. And yeah, we'll try and get this thing down because we have a really nice weather forecast coming here, so this will sort of be my last stretch, you know, if I want to get this thing down before spring when I get busy. So yeah, a lot of the snow should melt. We got some +9s, a lot of +9s in the forecast. So today's really our last freezing day. So we'll try and get as much done as we can before we start messing up the yard, because tomorrow we'll probably have to start parking out by the road and just walk in. But anyways, I'll get to work here. So I'm just up here. I just walk the plate and I'll just walk around and zip them all off. Leave a little bit there just so I can beat it with a hammer to coax it out if I need to. So I'm making decent progress on this partition wall here. The boys are making good progress on the siding. Danny is working hard as usual. And yeah, I don't think it'll take us too terribly long to get the rest of this down. So I got all the sheathing except the bottom piece, which is frozen in off this wall. Now I'm gonna go pound all the nails up, take the top plate off, and it should just push right over. We'll see. Now that was a lot of work to get down actually. I disconnected everything and it was only connected by those anchor bolts, which ended up popping out because the concrete's so rotten. They stayed over there, but you can see it had to break that entire 2x6, which I guess it really doesn't look that bad. I thought it would have been sort of rotten, but there's just too much snow in the way. I couldn't get to any of that stuff, but in the next few days I'm sure this will all be melted, so I'll be able to salvage a little bit maybe. But in the meantime I'll just get these 2x6s, take everything apart. These are all really nice boards. Now that I've pretty well finished up inside there, I'm starting on this side. The boys have got a lot of siding pulled over there. So I'm gonna start on the top on this side, sort of do a lot of the ladder work so they can do the groundwork. And yeah, we're making good headway. All right, so I got up until that 1x8 torn off. I don't know how long that took me, an hour maybe, not too terribly long. Danny's just getting the trailer closed up. Garrett took off already. They got all this side done. So now it's just shiplap, which should be a lot easier. You tired, Danny? Long day's work. All right, well, we'll be back here tomorrow to finish it up. So we're back here for another day. I came back a little bit yesterday. Garrett was here all day. He got that whole other side taken off. I was casing some windows, so that job's done. So now we'll be back here and let's hope we can get all the siding off today. I think that will be a pretty good possibility. But I'm gonna start sort of cleaning up around here, getting all this stuff, you know, sorted on the trailer, just so we're not walking all over it because it's getting quite wet and muddy. So I parked out by the road because I don't want to tear their bin yard up too much. But yeah, get some of this stuff cleaned up so we're not walking on it and getting it all muddy. So yeah, I'll get going here. So the boys sort of have two piles here. Typically in carpentry, this would be a massive no-no. You know, once you pick up the material off the ground, take it straight to the trailer. You don't want to move it twice, but I don't really know if I trust them to load the trailer because it's got to be, you know, pretty good. I'm pulling any loose nails, and I want it stacked fairly strategically so I can pick it off with the skid steer, and it's all got to be very neat so it doesn't tip over. But I was just saying to Garrett yesterday, you know, as carpenters, this is a really good exercise for us, having to take something apart so we know sort of what not to do when we build. Like, don't put a million nails in a board, or, you know, don't use Ardox nails. Yeah, just sort of things like that. Really get familiar with the entire building process. All right, so I got a lot of the material cleaned up here. Dump trailer's almost full. Got some shiplap stacked over there, 1x10s here. And the trailer is filling up with siding pretty quickly. All right, so we're back here. Garrett's going hard on this side, and I got the front all done. So this shiplap's going pretty quick. I'm just cleaning up around front, getting all this stuff sort of organized, get the beams over there, just so there's not a whole bunch of garbage when we take this off. And that tin, I think there's some screws still in the ice down there, so I might just have to zip that off and deal with it later. But I'll get the rest of this stuff sort of cleaned up and then get going on this wall. So we're starting on this side here. Garrett got that side all finished, and I am just sort of cleaning up on this side so he can start. It's quite muddy. Might have been not a bad idea to leave some stuff down, but I didn't really want all the material getting muddy. Bit of a water issue here. Everything's melting quite quickly. So I'll just try and get some of this stuff cleaned up. A lot of this, I don't know, it's kind of garbage. Throw it in the dump trailer, and yeah, it's looking good so far. All right, so we are back here today. The yard dog is with us, and Danny is back. Now, you got a real fancy trench coat on today, I see. Yeah. What a classy guy. Hopefully you don't get her all muddy. So how many trench coats do you have?
About 6.
6? Leather ones, tan ones, black ones. Well, that's pretty neat. So yeah, we'll get the rest of the sheathing off this wall whenever Garrett gets here. Well, we'll start working before he gets here, but he can pitch in when he gets here. And yeah, then walls will come down and clean up. So digging through the boards here, we did find some writing. I'm not exactly sure what it says. I'm sure it's kind of dirty, and I'm sure somebody out there will be more proficient at reading handwriting than me. But it's got somebody's name, and I think that's 2075 something Street, Regina, Sask, July 31st, 1956. So 56, that's around when I thought this building would have been built, just sort of judging by, you know, the material. And then Miss something, not exactly sure what that says, but this board would have come off. Would this have been the outside of the board? Yeah, this would have been the outside, so this would have been underneath the siding. Probably right at about arm height, because it looks like that's right where the whalers were attached. So must have been somebody visiting or something, because we're not anywhere near Regina. We're near Looseland right now. So yeah, sort of interesting. So I'm just working on getting the rest of that wall disassembled. Garrett's over there getting that done. Danny's pulling nails and organizing over there. And yeah, I'm just sort of trying to clean up some of the garbage in here. So these two walls that have buildings next to them can be tipped inwards. So up at the top here, I've disconnected the top plates. So these walls are, you know, fairly disconnected, ready to tip over. I did manage to get a lot of the anchor bolts out of the bottom. So as soon as Garrett's got that done over there, then this wall should be able to tip right over. I do kind of want to brace these ones just so they don't fall and hit the other buildings. Not that they'd really do any damage, but it'd just be quite the effort to push them back. So I'll probably just take some 2x6s and brace them a bit. So Garrett finished up on that side. So really, we're just getting these last boards that we couldn't get before because the ice was in front of them. And then we'll be ready to disconnect top plates and fold these walls down accordingly. I should get some of this stuff out of the way first though, just so we don't have a catastrophic destruction of material. So I think we're about ready to tip these over. I got the end walls somewhat braced just so they don't fall that way. If they fall this way, it's not a big deal. Guys are just cleaning stuff up. We got the trailer somewhat semi-organized, just saving these beams for last. All the different lengths of shiplap organized properly. And then I think I'm gonna take all these rods here and give them to Jim the blacksmith because he'll be able to use those, not me. So I'll load those all up on the trailer last.
That side's already over. It's going. Oh.
We only did lose a little bit of lumber, which is a lot better than, you know, historically what happens when I pull walls down. If this lumber pile would have been moved, we could have avoided that if we would have cleaned up. So that's it. The rest of these walls are down safely. And now we will get to ripping them apart. So it's too windy to film outside today, but I'm just taking the second dump trailer load of material home. And the nice thing about this project is there's really no waste. Like, even though I call it garbage, I'm still gonna cut it up and use it for firewood for heating. So nothing really goes to waste on this project, which is nice. Now here's a look at what came out for garbage. I mean, probably not all of this is garbage. We were just throwing some of the shorter lengths into the dump trailer, but they're still good yet. So I'll sort of go through everything here and then just, you know, set everything on a pile to the side that's smaller. Like, I mean, that chunk there, there's a lot of it that's good. So I'll just cut off the crown stuff and then make a smaller pile of better stuff. But for the most part, this will all be firewood. So we spent the day cleaning up here. Very windy. But we sort of just got all the scrap metal there. The owner just said put anything we don't want on this pad. I think we'll figure it all out and rearrange the bins and stuff. But I will grab this, the rest of the beams and the rods. I'll just have to do a separate load because the trailer's pretty well full. Alright, so we made it out here. I'm going to try and get all of this strapped down and hopefully we make it home. Alright, now this is a lot of weight. Look at the squat on the truck. There's gotta be, oh god, what would that building even weigh? 12,000 pounds? I don't know. It's gotta be probably pretty close to maxing that trailer out. I do have it loaded pretty front heavy, so that would, you know, contribute to the squat, but there's a lot of heavy material on there. So we got everything unloaded. It's on the next door vacant property. I'm storing it over here because I'm gonna buy this property pretty quick here, so figured I might as well just start putting my stuff over here because it is abandoned. Sneak peek. But yeah, so here's all the 2x6s. I sort of got everything in piles that kind of make sense. So yeah, all the shiplap there, that's all roof shiplap. It's not as nice, so that, and then 2x4s, and then siding over here. I think I'm gonna post this right away for sale just to see if anybody wants it, because a lot of people love this kind of look for feature walls and stuff. So I'll just see if there's any interest. If not, I'm sure I'll be able to use it for something. Well, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I know it was just a 2-part series, but it was still a lot of fun. And if you're local to me and want some siding or some beams or even any of the other lumber, get a hold of me and we can work something out. Siding I've priced at $1 a linear foot, but I can negotiate on that if you need anything. But be sure to check out my Facebook and Instagram as well. The links to those will be in the description. If you're new, remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know when I post. And we'll see you in the next one.